All right, welcome back to Top Sport. That was Yosho Makori and mashabiki wameongea pale kuhusu Arsenal, and currently Manchester City and Newcastle are 1-1 in that early kickoff of the English Premier League. And now we shift gears once again and now discuss hockey. Butali Warriors are the now champions of the Kenya Hockey Union Men's Premier League after winning their match there. They only have one match coming out tops with currently 45 points in the Men's Premier League, and they will be having a match tomorrow against Green Sharks, and they'll be telling me how already so far they're the champions. Karibuni sana on Top Sport.
Asante.
Karibuni sana. And the journey has been not quite rosy for the team, but then tuko pale pale. As we start off, just briefly identify yourselves, tell us your name quickly, alafu your position, and then we get to know where we are in hockey. Start off.
Kenneth Nyongesa, captain, defender.
All right.
Frank Wanangwe, midfielder.
All right.
Constant Wahura, defender.
Maxwell Fuchaka, right back.
Right back.
Arif Shah, left back.
George Mutira, forward.
All right.
Linus Sang, GK.
All right. Linus, if I start off with you, already defending your current champions, you managed to defend your title. Not unbeaten yet because you have a match tomorrow, and that match will determine if you win. It will now be unbeaten. What do you make of your season so far?
I think it has been good. I think from the management they have been giving us support. So, like our second leg, we had planned as a team that we shall play unbeaten. So, for me, I just feel we are going to win that match tomorrow.
All right, as you pass the mic, Captain, bring you in this. Already you've defended your title with one match and one match tomorrow as you get coronated later after that match. The journey hasn't been rosy as he's said, but then you've emerged winners. So far, yes, a chance to go to go become African champions, but then you won't be going.
It's very unfortunate that Butali is not going for Africa Club Championship. And this is for obvious reasons, because this is, with the dynamics that we are having currently, especially with the players, most of us, we are working with different companies. So getting time to go for club championship has become an issue. And the way also the preparation has been, it came a bit late. So confirming, especially for the players, became a big problem.
All right, we'll look at the intrigues of not going to the Africa Championship because men have only taken part in the competition when we host the event in the country. Just bringing you in, tomorrow we'll be playing Green Sharks, a chance for you to go unbeaten and become the first male team to win that the men's title unbeaten in such a long time. 2001 was the last time the last team, Armed Forces, won it unbeaten.
Yeah, so I think for the boys, we're really psyched for tomorrow. We know what's at stake. We basically want to finish whatever we started at the start of the season. So for us, we know we are going for the 3 points. There's no relaxing from the boys. So basically, for us, we try to be professional as much as we can. And we approach every game with the same mentality. So I can assure you, for us, tomorrow it will be a job as usual as we finish the league.
Green Sharks are not an easy side.
Yeah, true.
It will be a tough match tomorrow.
I know, it will be a tough match, but we are ready for them. Yes.
Ready, as you say, as the mic also gets to you. Yes, you will be taking on Green Sharks and a chance to go unbeaten if you win that match. But then generally, how has the season been for you to get to where you are? It has been good. 2014, you won the title. 2015, won it again twice in a row. Only missing it in 2016 for Strathmore, who won it. 2017, Kenya Police won it, but then you took it back in 2018 and 2019.
I think as my teammates have said, the job is still,
Unfinished.
unfinished.
All right. Pull up your mic.
Sorry. We are very confident that whatever we started will finish. This season, unlike last season, we had a roller coaster. This season, so many teams came out, knowing that we are defending. So many teams came out, but we did recruit well. We had some really great youngsters coming into the team,
All right.
who've really beefed us up and given us the motivation to, push to the last minute.
All right.
Yeah.
There's nothing as easy as beating a defending champion. We know even in the English Premier League, everyone who comes up against a champion always wants to win it. Sponsorship is key. Teams are suffering in terms of finances so that to manage the teams, but then you have managed this season to maintain your victories and to get to where you are so far.
I think a lot of hard work and dedication was involved. The team has really struggled and really worked very hard in terms of all training sessions. We've had challenges with the ground, But besides the challenges, we ourselves decided we can actually go for more road works, stick work we could do later, but we really pushed it hard this time, and we are also willing to push it harder tomorrow.
All right, as you come in, the pride is always going home with the title when the season comes to a close. You will be coronated tomorrow after your match against Green Sharks. Generally, it hasn't been easy, but then as we know where hockey is. Where do you think hockey is so far?
It's a very interesting story.
I know.
I think hockey is sleeping giant, I think. It's a good sport. As I always tell my friends, hockey is the only team sport that has taken this country Olympics for so many years. But no one has just come out to realize how good the sport is. No one is giving us coverage, probably by the media. Always had that problem.
Is that true, really? I always cover hockey.
Yeah, I know you
week in,
cover,
week
but
out.
it is on very, very small bits. There's not enough. We are crying out there probably as players or as coaches. We cry. We need someone to give us publicity so that people can see us and people can say, there's a problem there. How can we sort that out?
All right. Yeah. Bringing you back, Captain, you've had finances an issue. We only have one stadium for hockey in the country. You have all managed from 10 a.m. the matches kick off all through to 6 p.m. Yes, you may blame media, but then for me to come cover, I would cover a match depending on also the timings, but that's a discussion for another day. Looking at it, yes, you have managed to win the title. The journey is not easy. In terms of the struggles that you have, management is an issue. Talk to me about management of the hockey union generally as it is. Do you feel it is where it should be?
Personally, I don't think hockey is where it should be, and management has a role to play here. And the federation need to take hockey out so that you can be able even to get the sponsors. As you alluded earlier, that sponsorship has become a problem. And if you see most of the team, they are self-sponsored. So you find that even traveling to matches outside Nairobi becomes an issue. So how would we now go out and bring back now the likes of Safaricom, these big companies coming back and probably sponsoring the teams that we have?
Right.
So from there, again, if we get the sponsorship, I'm very sure that we'll be able even to now get this hockey to a higher level.
The journey for a hockey player begins mostly in secondary school. We have the Kenya Secondary Schools Sports Association, the school games that we always have year in, year out with different competitions in different terms, if I can call it so. It starts from the secondary school games, joins into high school, joins into campus, but then there is a fluctuation between the period after campus and when you're out so that you can become a professional player. How has it been, and is it being treated right? Because we've had many good players who come up from secondary schools, but then wakimaliza, we can't see them anymore.
Yeah, so there is a problem actually.
Yeah.
But I really believe it's because, again, we only have one artificial pitch.
All right.
So basically, for the people who are able to actually move to Nairobi, they have a better advantage as compared to probably, we have very good players. Personally, I played with some great players who probably, if they had a chance to be this part of Kenya, probably they would have done well. So I think there's still a long way. We need to put structures in place. For example, probably if we can have the same turf, probably in Mombasa or Kisumu, at least in the 3 regions, then we'll be able to improve the sport. So actually the issue is we still have great players. I think it's improving right now because even in areas where we don't have the artificial pitch, people are still able to keep the game going through the other pitches that we have. But if we're able to put the structures in place, I think all over the country, it will go a great step.
All right. Yeah. We'll be talking to you now briefly as we start off with you, but before we come to you in terms of what now needs to be done to improve that, you were supposed to go represent the country at the Africa Club Championships in Egypt, Ismailia, where Kenya was supposed to be represented by Butali and Kenya Police in the men, and Blazers, formerly Telcom, and is it Strathmore? Yeah. Strathmore for women in both teams. But then no Kenyan representation in the events this year that kick off. Is it tomorrow? They kick off tomorrow?
Yes.
Tomorrow in Ismailia. There will be no representation in the country. What do you make of that, such picture in terms of developing the sport of hockey?
Yeah, exactly. It's a bad picture for us. Kenya is not being presented there. But our big problem here in Kenya is financial. We have a big problem financially. Yeah, that's why most of our teams are not going there.
All right.
Yeah.
But Butali is sponsored by Butali, right?
Yes.
So finances should not be an issue as long as there's success to it.
The captain already gave you an answer.
All right.
That most of our players were not available. Most of our players could not probably get.
Take up your mic.
Most of the players could not probably get permission from work. I think also this thing should come together so that employers also know that they got assets in their companies, that got players who also can probably today, if I'm working for Safaricom and I go play club champs, Safaricom will be proud of me.
All right.
Because I'm the employer, but they don't give those provisions because everybody is money-minded. Everybody wants just to look at what's going to come. But also, they're forgetting that we also have another life. And that life might probably be down into their sons. Maybe you are a boss of a big company, but your child probably will not be, not in a bad way, academically good, but will be a sportsman.
All right.
So you can imagine if your child is going to miss that opportunity because of an employer somewhere tying them down.
All right. Sayed, as we come into this, Blazers had a good sponsor. 30 years with Telkom before they left, and now they are nowhere. They don't have a sponsor. The reasons why they can't go represent and even go defend their title at the Africa Club Championships. What do you make of that? And now what needs to be done? Success is not only the issue. We spoke with Joseph Penda. He was here last week and he spoke about that. Success is not only the attracting factor in sponsorship.
I think it's a bit sad that they could not make it. They really trained really hard till the last minute.
All right.
Then it's a shocker to everybody when we just see it in the media saying Blazers is not going. There should be somebody maybe from Safaricom or even Nation Media Group could have just said, okay guys, we will decide to sponsor you guys so you can actually make it and represent the country and Nation Media Group as well. And you do get the publicity from it.
All right.
It is sad, but we can't do much about it.
All right. For you, it all pans down to success, as he also says, and someone needs to come in. But then how can you now attract the sponsors now as we nearly wrap this up?
I think sports has really developed into a commercial business, and for me, I take it like the union should at least put more effort into marketing the sport. You know, we've got sponsors here, Butali. Of course, they've got networks. If they could utilize those networks, you know, to attract other sponsors, especially, you know, the league itself. First of all, to get just a league sponsor. I mean, if maybe we had Telkom winning the league and, you know, having some financial benefit from it, then that could have probably, you know, helped them to, you know, go participate in the championships. But we also have a role to play. I think we, as sports hockey professionals, we need to sensitize. You know, go out there and you know, try and make the noise that hockey is a big sport in Kenya. It's just that it's not being heard, and if we could get support from you guys.
Okay. All right, Linus, as we also now just have one or two closing parting shots in this, as we also conclude, what more now needs to be done from a player's perspective? As a fan, for me who is a fan, what should I do now to try and develop this sport? As the Kenya Hockey Union, where they sit, and maybe as also tomorrow when you go defend your title, go finish up your league this season, what needs to be done moving forward? Because talk has been there, but now action needs to be done.
I think that's a good question. For me, I think as a fans, they need to. I know there are people, you know, at least maybe you have been working in a company, and you know you have networks. You see, you can maybe at least sponsor maybe a team, or you can maybe connect a team, the one that is struggling, like Telkom. Telkom is a good team, and right now is struggling for sponsorship, you see. So you can do something at least so that at least they can get sponsorship. And then in terms of the union can do something better than where they are right now. They can look for sponsors. Look at those young boys from the grassroots there, the high school, the secondary school students. Look at those talents, amazing talents, and they're all gone. We are not bringing them back to Nairobi.
All right. Parting shots as we develop how to develop the sport.
I think hockey is a very passionate sport. To those who are aware of it, and to those who admire it, it's a very beautiful sport. I'd say very addictive because we've played with these great gentlemen from an early age.
Yeah.
And I think it's just time that we as a sport, you know, do something
All right.
to, you know, market ourselves out there to attract sponsors.
All right.
That's the only way we can grow.
All right. The gap between secondary schools, university, and now becoming a professional player, it needs to, more still needs to be done in that area so that to harness these talents.
Yeah, I think a lot has to be done there. A lot of dedication, a lot of scouting. Scouting can really help the sport. You can get good coaches, bring them to club sites, enjoy the sport, train them, and
All
actually
right.
make them better.
Do we see ourselves maybe in the next years? Yes, we will host it. We'll have the club champs here. That's only when you will take part. Do we see maybe in the near future where Butali will fly, go, take part in a competition, not because they are hosting it?
For information, I want to tell you that we have a very strong sponsor. And first of all, I want to thank
Why
Mr.
can't he take you to
No,
Africa
just
Club
first of all, I
Championship?
have to recognize him, Mr. Sanjay Patel
Yeah.
and Mr. Kamal Simi. Done a great job. It is, we can't write that off. It's only that, don't say it's only the only time we participate. It was only once, yeah? So situations have happened, and as we explained to you, that is beyond what we would have wanted.
All right.
Yeah.
Do we foresee maybe new turf in the country at City Park? A lot still needs to, as we conclude, to Malizia.
That's a tough question for me.
But a lot still needs to be changed because when Randiek has been there for how many years with the same turf that is being that is now wearing out and he's just looking.
Yeah, so I think it's possible. So just to tell you, we have another turf actually at Simba Union.
But that's a private one.
Yes, but I'm actually saying it's possible. So I think when we join forces, and actually we have the right people who actually are looking after the sport, then it's possible to be done.
All right.
Yeah.
Captain, what's in it for Butali come next season? I know the title has gone. What's in it for Butali next season?
One is we need to thank our sponsor, Butali Sugar, has given us a chance to play this hockey. I can pretty
I
tell
should
you,
bring Butali here and
Yes.
explain a few things. We will get him.
I can tell you with a lot of confidence that there is a gap between coming from high school, university, then clubs.
All right.
And the reason why you are seeing that nowadays universities are giving scholarships
All right.
to the children. But when after the university, where are they going?
Where are they going?
Now the federation now needs to probably whatever they are doing is not enough, and the reason why hockey is going down. And if it's affecting the clubs,
And do you believe change also needs to be done with the with
change
the
needs to be
elections?
done. And
All
if
right.
change is done,
Okay.
again, whatever is happening now is also affecting the national team.
Okay.
Yes.
You've had it. A lot needs to be changed, starting with the hockey union, a lot with the sport as well. Not only in the league, where they play that league is also rugged. Nothing to celebrate there, save for the titles that they have. We have a different sport in woodball. Away from hockey, a different sport, woodball. What is that sport? You may be asking. Listening.
It's a new sport, so when you go through the processes approaching the ministry, it's hard to sponsor a new sport, but we are asking the Ministry of Sports and also the Woodball Friends to please help us spread the game and also sponsor the game. My projections, we are thinking of in 2 years, so that Woodball will be recognized as a national sport. We're also asking the ministry also to help us. For example, next year Kenya is hosting FASU Games, whereby as a host we should be glad to participate, because last year they were in Tanzania and Tanzania participated. It will be too bad to be hosted in Kenya and Woodball is not participating. And also the projections, where I'm seeing Woodball in the next 1 year or 2 years, Kenya will be Africa champions. But we also want to beat the Asians. The games started in Taiwan, Taipei in 1990. So we also want to beat the Taiwanese with their own game. So we'll be also world champions. But we also want at least every Kenyan to know what exactly is Woodball. At least in every homestead, one at least to even have touched the mallet to play Woodball. So I can tell you, Woodball is a family game. woodball, it takes 5 minutes to learn woodball, and you can beat me, even the national coach, just after the training for 5 minutes. Yeah, and it's not a sport you sweat too much. It's not a sport that will make you have more injuries.
Quite good, but with more training and more practice, I believe that we are good. For example, Team Uganda, we are quite good, so we give the Asians a challenge. We give them a run for their money. So I hope that since Team Kenya is also good, we will pose a greater challenge come the following years. More people are coming up on board, more people want to try it out, and in the end they love the game, so they play. And that is the reason as to why we keep moving to different countries. We want to show them that you can be this good, and when you're good, you have opportunities to go to different countries and play as well. So the game is moving on quite well. We thank Kenya for hosting the game, thus bringing us here. And we hope to see more Kenyans participate in the sport. It's coming to professionalism. That's what I can say. We are heading there. We see that we have the vision and we are heading to the vision. So we are on our way there. We shall get there.
The tournament so far has gone on well, though we had some challenges somehow on the turn up of the African teams from other countries or African countries. But so far it has gone on well, and we have been able to have around 30 countries coming on board. We had some participants from some in Tanzania, Mombasa University. Then we had some from Uganda and the Kenyans. We were able to have at least 5 teams competing for the first ever African Woodball Championship which we have ever had in Africa. Then this tournament is in 2-in-1. We are having first African Woodball Championship, at the same time Kenya International Woodball Championship. So far the tournament has gone on well. We are at the tip and the closure of the African first ever Woodball Championship, where we had 5 teams playing, and you find that Kenya has merged the winner for the fairway men. Then in women, now we have Uganda being the merging for the fairway women. Then for the doubles and mixed doubles, we have Kenyans overriding the Ugandans, and to us as the federation at times it makes us good, because we feel like there's a competition which is coming on, but Ugandans and Kenyans, they are on the same footing now in via competition, and we play and we urge the Kenyans to keep it up and also Ugandans to keep it up, so that competition now they have got to know that we have a competitor. Kenya is becoming as a competitor in African land or the grounds.
I have won 3 medals so far, and I am expecting to win more as the game continues. For now, as Kenyan team, we have done our best to represent Kenya in this World Championship, and we are committed to ensure that we will do our best even for the coming games.
Ndo shughuli kuntu ambayo ilipikwa moja kwa moja hapo na kijana wangu Ian. Wacha nisome matweet mawili matatu. Jobo Gamba anasema super analysis and the comprehensive outlook on the sporting world as ever. Joshua Makori with Swahili flow is always a treat to watch. Keeps getting better and better. Better and better, eh? Anasema hapa chini, anasema never to forget Brano 12 who spices the audience with the Queen's language. #TalkSport. Kigogo naona unatema. Huyu sijui ameandika nini. Kuna nyingine ilikuwa inanichanganya. Huyu anaitwaje? Bege. Anasema hujambo soka, wachezaji wa Kenya kwenye ligi ya Japan wanafanya vizuri na wanashangaza. Huyu ni Engineer Michael Olunga ambaye alifanya mambo makuu na kuisaidia timu yake akashiwa Reysol kupanda katika ligi kuu ya Japan kutoka daraja la pili. Charlton Odhiambo anasema this is what we call sport development. Sasa hapa ndo akaeka hii clip. Ilikuwa inacheza, sijui kwa nini imenyamaza. Tacheza. Imekuwa haya. Wacha niende nyingine. Huyu sasa sijui aliandika nini. Jimmy Van de Velde. Groot. #sportman. Groot, man. Fantastic. Mechi za ligi kuu zinaendelea kwa sasa na hapa Gor Mahia ni 0-0 dhidi ya Ulinzi Stars, Kariobangi Sharks mawili, KCB manne. Sharks wametingika huu msimu. Nzoia Sugar mawili, Leopards mawili, inaendelea kwa sasa ni kipindi cha pili. Sony Sugar walidondosha kutoka ligi kuu, mechi yao dhidi ya Posta ilifutiliwa mbali. Wazito wanaelekea kuipiga Chamberlain Sugar, wanaongoza mabao 3-0. Mechi kati ya Manchester City na Newcastle United iko bao 1-1 na iko katika awamu ya mapumziko kwa sasa, na mmegea pasi ya chini kwa chini Brano Twali.
All right, thank you so much Makori. Kizungu naona Mungu ajalie. Anyway, we move away from that, and now also issues of money still an issue, but the National Super League is enjoying something so far as it got a sponsor. It's now called Betika Super League, right? Betika Super League, and I'm now joined by Patrick Korir, who's one of the members of Nairobi City Stars, who are the leaders of the National Super League, the Betika Super League currently, and they are seeking something. You remember Gor Mahia? Kogalo Gor Mahia. Now there's someone, City Stars are seeking for someone who can make a song of such a kind. You know, Gor Mahia gives a lead. Anyway, Patrick will tell me, did you get the lead from Gor Mahia? I hear you're looking for someone who can give you an anthem.
An anthem?
Yes.
We're looking for an identity.
All right.
City Stars has been a bit lost. Used to play in Kawangware, they took off for various reasons. Been playing all over town. So we're trying to get the team back to Kawangware, Hope Center. The funds that we left when we left that area, we have no idea where they went to. So we're looking for an identity. We're looking for an identity that can help us connect with the fans. We are trying to get the fans back to come and cheer their team. And that's why we floated something so that the fans themselves can come up with an anthem.
All right, but City Stars have a good season so far. Currently on the top of the Super League standings.
I can't complain. 16 games later into the season, we are unbeaten, 12 wins, 4 draws. If you go back into the other season, it's actually 20 games unbeaten. So far so good.
All right, the Jackson Foundation that you're seeking also is part of Nairobi City Stars. Perhaps just talk to us about
Actually, this is a story. Jonathan Jackson Foundation actually bought out the club from Peter Jabuya.
All right.
Jonathan Jackson is actually a person. He does real estate. All right. But then he came up with a foundation. His parents used to do a lot of work with the community, his mother specifically in Kibera. And it became ingrained in him. So he does a lot of community work in Europe. And so because he's now concentrating his businesses here in Kenya, he decided, you know what, I need a team that is community-based.
All right.
And so when City Stars, he heard it was being floated, he took it over. And that's now how Jonathan Jackson. So Jonathan Jackson actually is the current sponsor of Nairobi City Stars.
All right. And now you're seeking an anthem, a new identity with the foundation as well. It's only positivity all the way.
Well, it is. Luckily, when we began the season, we played our first game there against Shabana, and there's a bit of a crowd that came.
All right.
And then, of course, they complained some of the players in this team don't belong. They don't come from Kawangware. So some of them gave us a wide berth. But then later on, they're like, oh, the team has a very good run. So they started coming back. So our last game there against Ushuru, it was actually quite packed. But Brian, when I look at the history of the club, and I go back 10 years, when FC Leopards came back to the league, 2009, it was February, City Stars, they're playing their first game against City Stars at Hope Center. And you know that game had about 20,000 people at Hope Center.
At Hope Center.
But you ask yourself, where did all those fans go to? You'll argue that those fans were FC Leopards. Nonetheless, they were fans.
Yeah.
But where did they go to? Why is it that when a game goes back there, you don't see them? So fans took off. There was a report that was done in 2010 by Realforge, and the average attendance of a KPL game for the top clubs, you're talking about AFC, Gor, Sofapaka, was at 19,000 per game.
Wow.
Where did those fans go to? They disappeared.
All right.
But what are we as clubs doing to get those fans back? So in our own way, this is how we're beginning.
It is now a rebuilding process.
Yeah, we're trying to get the fans
All right.
to create realize that our City Stars is back. There's a bounty of 50,000 if you come up with an anthem for the club. So we can match Gor, as you said. And then after that, we want those fans to come and actually sing that anthem that they created themselves while supporting the club.
All right, what are you looking at exactly? Because for me now, I'll come with a song. Exactly, what factors should I put in terms of when I'm making this anthem?
Originality, the base is Kawangware. It has to identify with where the team comes from.
Club.
It has to come.
Such factors.
We have a tag, our nickname, just in case you don't know, is Simba Nairobi. We need to hear Simba Nairobi in that anthem. And so those are just the little parameters that we've set that you need to be part of your song. So a lot of originality, let it be identifiable as much as possible with someone who comes from Kawangware and Nairobi, because the team is Nairobi City Stars.
So how do we get the song to you? If I had it maybe now, how do I get it to you?
How do you get it to us?
Yeah.
Well,
any random person out there?
When you post it, you tag us along on social media. We'll pick it up. There'll be a panel that'll look at it. The deadline is 15th of December. And then the panel will go through, look at how many parameters you've met. Of course, the followership of that song in terms of likes and all those social media things.
All right.
So the more you have, it gives you
and the prize is something to go home with.
It's 50,000. Wouldn't you want that, brand? Come up with one.
All right, indeed. And now, as we sum this up, sponsorship from Betika has come in and come through for you guys. Not only you, but the teams at the Super League.
The rest of the teams in NS.
Has it counted for anything positive?
It does, Brian. I'll tell you what. Have you ever heard of NSL having a sponsor? It's never happened. So now there's 15 million spread across 20 teams. So each team gets 750,000 for the season. You may say it's little, but let me tell you what, Brian.
Okay.
We pay for referees 10,000 a game. So you come with your 10,000, I come with mine. 38 games in the season, that's 380,000. So what does 750,000 do to me? It caters for my refereeing costs. For every home game, I pay for an ambulance. On average, it's 7.5 a game. I have 19 home games. That caters for that amount. I buy water for players. Sometimes you go and hire a pitch. You actually hire a pitch, 10,000 per game. So that caters for that. So 750 may say is very little, but it caters for very key aspects of the game.
All right. As we conclude this, you've had Starlets talk about sponsorship, lack of finances. The team has gone for months without pay from different allowances from different matches. We've had Butali talk about sponsorship, the league and the federation as well, suffering the tough that they have.
Yeah.
Sponsorship is an issue, funding is an issue in terms of sports.
I can tell you why, Brian. It is because sponsors have money, corporates have money.
Yes.
But what value do we give them back if they give us money?
Okay.
Nothing. You know what? A lot of teams go and tell a sponsor, my wage bill is 2 million.
Okay.
Please help us pay. It is of no value to a sponsor. The day we will get the value back to the money we are being given
return on
is the day
investments.
people put in money in the game. So that's where the disconnect is. You want 60 million from me. I have $1 billion sitting in my account, but you don't tell me what value I get out of my 60 million. Yes. You tell me, oh, I need to pay salaries, I need to go play a game in Mombasa, I don't have transport.
So what should they do now? How can they show that this is how it'll benefit as Butali, as Starlets?
Value. Very quickly, I'll give you a report done by Realforge in 2010. KPL had what is called an advertising value equivalent of 686 million. How did they come to that? All the talk, your show, you talk about the KPL, radio, print, and etc. And I'll tell you, Nation TV had an AV of 113 million. Nation newspaper had 135 million. So all the talk about Gore and AFC Leopards at the KPL, the value of 686 million. Okay. So if sponsors, if a club gets to work its way out and work with the media, so that if my t-shirt is branded and you get to talk about it on TV, get it on print, that's how you get value back to a sponsor. The moment you piece that up, Brian, all clubs will have sponsors.
Indeed, a good point to end it at, and keep doing it. Just show how the sponsor benefits out of this. It is a win-win for both teams. I put in my money, I have to also bring in some money. That has been Top Sport, 2.5 hours, not enough time, but then indeed we get to cover everything and much more in sports. We do this again next week. Different topics, different clubs, different all these disciplines. Thank you so much. See you next week.